Ungana nami Lame Kaungo ninapoleta taarifa hizi hapa Look Up TV.
Hello everyone from wherever you're watching us, and welcome to Mtoto News Insights here at Look Up TV.
We are bringing you a new experience
where children speak for themselves and make their views count. Yes, an experience.
We will bring you news for children by children and involve you in hot discussions on children's rights.
We're going to discuss about the Kenya Children's Assembly.
It's children in leadership. We have the governor and the deputy governor here. I mean, those are great titles, so man.
There are others which are younger than like 5 years or something.
Join me, Omar Hamed, from Total News Insights every Saturday at 8 p.m. only on Look Up TV.
Hi there, my name is George Muteti, Senior Sales Manager, Option Real Estate, and we are happy to be here at our offices at XTRA Towers, 14th floor along Lloyd Street. And it's a beautiful day, and we are happy to host a special friend, Mr. Kimani, Chairman of Kenya in Northwest community in Seattle, Washington. Please, I want to give him a chance to introduce himself.
Thank you very much, George, for having me. I'm glad to be here at Optiven headquarters in Nairobi. And I'm down here in Kenya. I had to come and make this visit and meet with the founder of the Optiven, foundation, and companies. So I'm so glad to be here, even to visit the headquarters. This is a place where I always wanted to come, because it is nice to partner with people that are doing wonderful things here in Kenya.
Maybe Mr. Kimani, I'd like to ask you, what do you like about Optiven?
What I like about Optiven is what they are doing here for our people. It is all about empowering our people here in Kenya and also in diaspora. I have seen the work they have done. I've been associated with Mr. Washiuri. Wow. And truly, you have made a difference in a lot of people's lives. Whether it's in diaspora or here in Kenya. I'm also aware of the foundations, that he has founded here in Kenya, and the work that he is doing. And I'll tell you, I have not met anybody else who is doing what the Optiven is doing here in Kenya.
And maybe I'd like to ask you, what do you like about Optiven properties project, Mr. Kimani?
About the Optiven properties,
yes.
Their credibility is what I like most.
Wow.
In a diaspora where we are, the thing that we don't find is people, credible people that we can trust, you know, because we want to invest back here, you know, back home. And that is everybody's aim when you are in diaspora.
Wow.
You know, home is best, east or west.
Yes,
and
sure.
If you find somebody that you can trust and know you can invest with them, and your investment will grow while you're still in diaspora, doing whatever you are doing. That is the most important thing.
So what is your comment about the, like in our properties, we ensure that there's water, there's power, you know, we ensure that the projects are green, the land is prepared, ready for construction. What is your comment about that?
That is incredible, because it sets the pace. When you want to invest, you just don't want to invest anywhere. You want to invest with somebody who is developing their land.
Correct.
You know, and you want the amenities to be there. So when you come, whether you want to build your house, you can just straight away go ahead and start the construction. You know, not grounds. You know, we are buying properties, or we were a while back before we met Optiven. And you could buy properties in areas that are not developed. There is no water, there is no electricity, there are no roads. And that investment will take time to grow. But with your investment, the pace is way faster, you know, for growth for our investments. Whether we are buying it for investment or whether we are buying it to build a home, you know, it is ready to be built. You know, and you can just come in and start the construction right away. There is water, there is roads, you know, you have truly, you know, prepare the ground for us.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Yes.
You know, that's very humbling. What is your word to diaspora people when it comes to investment, especially in partnership with Optiven Real Estate?
Our thing is to encourage them to come back home and invest here. And a lot of them, as young as they are looking for those investments, because we are encouraging them. Start investing when you are young. Don't wait, you know, to enjoy life like most people used to do. But set apart a little part of your earnings and start investing at a very early age. And that is how your investment will grow. Your investment will grow with you. And when you are provided a vehicle like Optiven, what else can you ask for? You know, the roadmap is set for you. All you have to do is step in, partner with Optiven, and see your investment grow.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow, thank you so much.
Now this is the Extraordinary. I am super excited to have Dolly Mungai right here in studio, of course featured as the Extraordinary. You see her do amazing things in the fashion world, and today we want to hear more about her story, how she has made it, how it actually feels to be where she is at. And now, of course, to say officially welcome back home. Hi, Dolly.
Hi. Well, thank you for having me.
We're excited. We cannot wait to hear your journey, what keeps you, you know, holding on. And, you know, times are changing, fashion changes all the time.
Yes, it does. That's very true.
But first, let's start with, you know, looking back, really. Did you see yourself here?
I always knew I would be an entrepreneur, always knew. I've always had an entrepreneur spirit. I was always the girl at school who was selling sweets outside her backpack. I was always the one that was like telling my mum, let's go to boot sales. So I've always had an entrepreneur spirit. And also, yeah, I've always had an entrepreneur spirit. So it's always been in my DNA. So this was destined to be, yeah.
Amazing to know you always, you know, identified yourself or got yourself right in within that childhood and youthfulness. But my question now would be, it was entrepreneurship, but did you think it would be around fashion, design, anything of the sort?
Most definitely. As a child, when most children would go and play with toys, I would go to the magazine section and flick through magazines, Vogue, OK, Elle, and just look through clothes. So I've always been into fashion from, you know, from a young girl. I've always even been that person that goes and takes my mum's clothes and takes it to the tailor and makes it fit me specifically.
No way, did she let you?
No, she didn't. At times she didn't let me. She would be very shocked when she goes and tries something on and she'd be like, why doesn't this fit anymore? And then she was accustomed to know that I used to go and take her clothes.
And I think by now she's really proud of you, understanding what exactly you were doing. You want to give a shout out to your mom if she's watching?
Yeah, my mom, if I could be anyone in this world, I would be my mom. My mom is my hero. She is an impeccable human being. She's just so gentle, articulate. She's just an amazing human being. She's very encouraging. Obviously, when I started fashion, fashion wasn't what it was because I'm a personal shopper. But even though she didn't understand, she wasn't like, oh, I don't think you should do that, you know? She was very encouraging. When I quit my job, even though it was a very good job, she wasn't like, why would you quit? She was very encouraging. She, you know, she has so much faith in me where it makes me have even more faith in myself.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing. And a lot of parents are watching today thinking, I did not know it would be so impactful on my child. Now they can learn from your mom how this has come to be for you. And I'm looking at, you said you had to quit a job. Now, a lot of youth cannot do that. If I was looking for a job security somehow, people don't want to quit something that's giving them something for the sake of something that they're passionate about. How did you get yourself to do that?
How did I get? I worked for a brand called Farfetch, which is a really big brand, and I was an executive personal shopper there. Put it this way, it's such a big brand that my manager was the editor of the New York Times.
Amazing.
So it was a very, very big job. But I just knew I could do more. You know, I just always knew that I could do more. And that's the thing, you've got to take that leap of faith in life and just know that, like, some things might not make sense, you know?
Yes.
We're born to fly, and we all must fly. And some of us just, like, live our life crawling. So we just got to fly. We've got to, like, spread our wings and fly. Because the things that we're most scared of doing are the things that would change our lives.
Amazing. The things that you're most scared doing are the things that would change your life. What I've picked from you is that we are born to fly.
Yes.
But some of us are crawling.
Yes.
Wow, amazing. You have battled many other challenges.
Yeah. I suffer from a condition called dyslexia. So dyslexia is a coordination, I wouldn't say it's a disease. It's just I struggle with left and right, with reading and writing. But again, a lot of people, especially in Asia and Africa, are not aware of dyslexia. But so many people have dyslexia. Einstein has dyslexia. He created the illusion of time. Steve Jobs, how many iPhones do we use? He created iPhone. So many, Will Smith, Richard Branson. The list goes, Whoopi Goldberg. The list goes on and on and on and on. And out of 10 people, 4 people are dyslexic. So it's a massive, massive passion of mine to come back, especially come back home and bring awareness of dyslexia. And that's why I started the DQM Foundation.
Amazing.
To bring awareness, because I feel like so much of us are tapped in to do well academically. So you have to be a doctor, a lawyer, or something to do well academic. We're not all meant to be academic.
Okay.
And you know what I mean? And I feel like, especially in like Asian and African countries, intelligence is measured by your grades, and not necessarily, because you could know a man who's got a degree who's homeless, who has a degree and is homeless, and a man who's not educated who lives in a mansion. So it varies, you know what I mean? And I think parents should be more attentive to what their children can do. Because maybe your child is artistic, maybe your child is a poet, maybe your child is a good farmer, a good chef, and you need to encourage them, push them in that way, where parents push their kids in the academic way, and then it brings a major void with parents and children, and then parents get themselves into like situations and debt. Like for me, I didn't go to university because it just wasn't my forte. But I didn't go and then get myself into debt or put my family in a predicament where it wasn't for me. So sometimes we've got to do things that make sense instead of doing what everybody else expect you to do. Because there's nobody on this planet who's like you.
Absolutely not.
Nobody. There's nobody. You are you for a reason. You have the talents that you have for a reason. So there's no point of me putting you somewhere that is not part of your talent.
Amazing what you have founded. I want to know a little bit about the foundation, just a little bit more, because really this seems like the heart of, you know, what you're doing. And also we come into what Moshi does with traveling across the globe. Let's talk about the foundation.
The DQM Foundation, so basically it brings awareness about dyslexia. And hopefully we're going to not hopefully, we are going to bring programs. So these programs can go into schools and children can be able, teachers can be able to identify kids with dyslexia, and parents can be able to help their children with dyslexia, because, you know, what we say to our children and how we speak to them is so important, you know. It's detrimental of how we speak, even to each other. So it just brings awareness in that. And also with dyslexia, it's not something you have today and then tomorrow you don't have it. So it's going to help people who have jobs and are struggling to fill out application forms, who you know, who are in a position where they probably want to apply for a passport, an ID. Do you know how many people in Kenya don't have IDs, and why do they not have IDs? Because they don't have the capacity of filling out an application form to get an ID. So what do? They avoid this situation. So just things like that, even just minor things, applying for a passport. People don't do these things because they're fearful of like filling in an application form. So just things like that.
Okay.
Really.
And I think that's quite a gap you have observed. And seeing you at your young age doing this, if I got it correctly, you started your journey, your career, your passion at the age of 21. I don't know if that's accurate.
No, that's correct. That's correct. So, yeah, at the age of 21. And yeah, so it's been a great journey, and I have traveled.
Yes, that's where I was going to go to as well.
Yeah, like before I came here, I was styling on a cruise ship. I went to Israel, Greece, Turkey, and I went to Paris. And then before I came to Kenya, I was in Dubai. So my job has allowed me to really travel, like really see the world, and I'm so grateful because I love traveling because it brings me a sense of exposure, and you start to understand why people behave the way they behave. You know. Yeah, the world's your oyster, so I don't not count my blessings and realize how privileged and how lucky I am to be able to travel, because I really have stamped my passport.
I like when she says, I really have stamped my passport.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at, with all this, you still have kept your humility in check. I want to know what your values are, what's grounding you?
What's grounding me? No matter where I am in the world, I will always do a workout.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. So did you do one today?
Yeah, I haven't done one today, but I will do. I will definitely go to the gym today.
Okay.
Where I'm staying is a gym, but I work out. Yesterday I worked out. I always do a workout and I always do 5-10 minutes of meditation. And even though I can't read, I wouldn't say can't read, even though like reading is not my strongest point, I listen to so many audiobooks. I probably listen to 3-4 audiobooks a week. So I read more than the average person that can read. So I'm big on reading. I'm big on like developing myself as a person. I'm big on self-development and becoming a better human being. I'm really big on those things. I'm really big on understanding myself as a person, asking myself those awkward questions. Why do I behave like this? Like, very rare, I find it in Kenya. I'm 33 now and I don't drink alcohol. Alcohol does not touch my mouth. And it's just, self-discipline is everything. Not to say that you don't have to drink, but if you let yourself down on a continuous basis, you can't expect the world not to let you down.
Amazing. I just picked that. Allow me to pick a few pointers. My take-homes. Tell me what your take-home is. Remember, this is the extraordinary. The comment section is yours. Let me know, what did you pick? But she said you cannot let yourself down continuously. You need to think about that. How many times have you sat down, self-reflected and thought, you know what, how about I do things differently? Am I disciplined enough? And we're celebrating, 33, and she started her journey 21, with a lot of challenges through it. And I'm looking at, when you look at your back, your background, or you flash back, some of the toughest moments in your life where you thought, you know what, this seemingly isn't going to work anymore, and how you overcame them, or you have none?
No, of course. We all go through challenges, and I guess I guess my breaking point, or my point where I really like turn over, is when I actually started to face myself. You know, when I started to really ask myself those uncomfortable questions. Why am I where I am? What could I do better? What is it that I'm, training? Because apart from our main organs, our heart, etc., your mind is your biggest asset. If you cannot control your thoughts or control how you think, your thoughts will control you, and your mind will take you places you don't even want to go. And if you can't take a step back and be like, hold on, why am I thinking like this? Why am I having these conversations with myself? Why am I talking to myself like this? You will be on a continuous rat race, and you'll be your worst enemy, your own worst. And we have more conversations with ourselves than we have with anybody else. So we need to make sure those conversations are productive. You need to tell yourself how amazing you are. You need to tell yourself how great you are. You need to be committed to yourself. So when I went through that journey, I think that's when my life completely changed, because there's nothing you could tell me about me that I haven't already asked myself. So I'm not self-defensive over my behavior. So if you say, oh, Dolly, you're a bit like this, I'm like, I know. I know. So I've really, I've faced myself. And I've had the courage to face myself. And I think a lot of people live life not facing themselves, saying, it's because of my mom, or it's because of my dad, it's because of my grandparents. There's always a reason why they are the way they are.
Oh, yes. And a lot of blame, like you have mentioned, is because of that. It's because of Dolly that I feel this way.
Yeah.
And I like that you're a young person. You're not 35 yet. So I'm looking at, the youth age group here. And most of the things we now see even in mental health, May is coming to an end.
Yeah.
It's been a mental health awareness month. So it's really timely to have you on The Extraordinary. Has been identity crisis, everything that you're picking, and unemployment. And I'm looking at, you want to talk to a youth back at home who's probably thinking, hey, that's actually something, and they're trying to figure out what they want against what they really think they must do. There's always that crisis.
Yeah. What I think the most important thing is, we underestimate the power of the pen and the paper. Writing things down and really putting things into perspective. For example, if your dream is to become a hairdresser, and you write this down and you put it into perspective and you put it into paper and you make a bubble and say, I want to do this with hair, I want to do, I want to make wigs, I want to do this. You have a stepping stone of what you're working towards. But sometimes we think, I'll remember this idea, I'll remember doing this. But it's almost like a faded print in our brain. So we will say something and then we'll be like, we'll do it. But writing it down also gives you clarification of what you're thinking about, because you can go back. There's times there's times I've written things down, like in 2018, I can go back and say, wow, you know what, I said I'll do this and this. And you also hold yourself accountable. Why didn't I do this? Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
Because we always think the grass is greener on the other side. We always think, somebody might be looking at me and being like, oh no, but she's lucky, she lives in England, or she speaks the way she speaks, or she looks the way she looks. No, we create our own luck. Do you understand? Because I could have been, obviously having dyslexia, I could have been withdrawn, or, just been in a box, or, do you know what I mean? You are in charge of your own life. Do you know what I mean? You are in control of your own. Apart from obviously people who have disabilities and they can't do certain things, obviously that's a different factor. But you are in control of your own life. A coffin doesn't have bunk beds.
There you go. And of course, I know we're about to close this conversation, but I want to hear now, you've been in fashion for a while. You've worked with big names as well.
Yeah.
What are we looking at in the future in terms of fashion?
In terms of fashion, to be honest with you, really where my heart is really at is really bringing awareness to dyslexia. I feel like with fashion, I haven't done everything possible, but I've reached my peak. I have a subscription business. I've never really, the only thing that I would like to do is make clothes for petite women. Yeah, make clothes because I think when you're small like myself, it's hard to find clothes.
Oh no, I think we disagree. Apparently out in this market, what one Nairobi Mkwabi? What for Nairobi? No, when you go to the streets in the evening, oh guys, petite people have nice shoes, they have nice dress, nice tops.
Really?
Wait, am I lying?
Maybe
So I think we need the plus size dresses, but I'm just kidding. I'm trying to pull your leg. I agree, and I really appreciate what you're doing, and it's good that you're bringing all this back home.
Yeah.
Kenyans following on Twitter and on Facebook. Maybe we're gonna need you back on set very soon again.
Yeah, most definitely. Most
all right.
Definitely. Well, thank you so much for having me. You have the whitest teeth. Yeah, that's so lovely on white.
You actually got me on air. I don't get such compliments on air.
You do. We should compliment each other. It costs you nothing. Say something nice to somebody today.
Nice. So that's how I'm going to close this. Say something nice to somebody today. It will cost you absolutely nothing. And thank you very much, Dolly, for being a sweet angel and standing out for everyone else who thought, you know what? This condition is gonna put me down. You said you could have been, laid back and quiet, but you've come out to actually show the little girls and boys watching that you can actually be what you want to be. That's it on The Extraordinary. And I'll take another short breather. We come back to close this officially. But that was Dolly Mungai, Dolly Quinta Mungai for you. Thank you for coming.
Thank you for having me. Thank you.